Okay, guys, welcome to Ask Woodford, episode 29. I'm your host, Christian Woodford. We're going to answer 3 questions. We're going to get Ask Woodford going again. If you've got a question, guys, ask away next few weeks. We're doing a fair few episodes. This show is all about giving the power back to you guys and allowing me to answer the questions you have for me. Alex, first question, go.
Jesse Connors. He's got I've got offers to study a Masters of Sports Science, strength and conditioning. While I'm passionate about health and fitness, I'm not sure if doing such a degree would be worth it in terms of jobs and income post-uni. For example, one course on the Gold Coast is $60,000, which seems ridiculous to him.
Wait, is the $60,000 course Bond University?
Yes.
Okay.
Thoughts or advice would be greatly appreciated.
Sorry, I'm just having a laugh at that. Let me have a laugh. Oh, how good's the life, hey? How good's the university sector? Look, I got nothing against university, by the way.
That postgrad, what do you think about that?
Okay, postgrad. Well, I haven't done a postgrad. I started my masters and I got 2 weeks in and gone, fuck this shit. I mean, not saying I don't believe in it, but here's the thing, right? Jesse, okay, you've obviously done undergrad, right? Here's my thing, brother. I'll be telling you, first of all, do you tag them in these posts once we answer them?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Excellent. Well done. Did I tell you to do that?
Well, if they're on Instagram, I can't tag them, but if they're on Facebook, I tag them.
It's really proactive of you. Oh, very well. Very good. So here's the thing, Jesse. If you have an undergrad, fantastic, man. That is like that's the bottom level, right? Now, am I saying you need an undergrad degree to coach athletes? No, I'm not, because there's outliers. But what I am saying is this. 3 years shows commitment to a cause, to stick at something long enough to actually show you want a career in it. That's my opinion. Don't jump down my throat, because there's outliers to that. I could name a few people right now off the top of my head. I'm not going to. That are just fucking outliers, where they're very knowledgeable, they upskill, they go around the world to learn athletic development. It's, as you know, half this game is a theory, half this game is art and practical application. So fantastic that, there's outliers for that. Now, if you've got an undergrad degree, that's great. What I think you do now, Jesse, is you don't do a master's and you get fall in the trap where everyone thinks, oh, fuck, you need a master's to get a job. Listen, where do you want to work? Where do you want to work? You want to work pro sport or the private sector? That's another question within itself. So he should ask a question within a question, because it's differences. Let's say you work in the private sector. No one gives a fuck if you have a degree or not. No one cares if you have a degree. Why the fuck would you do your master's? I'll give you an example. I know at least 50 people who have just literally go undergrad, masters, and then come out and what are you qualified to do? Unless you do what I've done, but most people don't want to do that. It's fucking hard making a brand. They want to work for someone. They want to get paid. It's hard. This industry is very, very hard, mate. Very, very hard. What did Bill Moore say, the CEO of Fitness Australia? He said 7% have full-time jobs. 7%. Alex, 7%. And we've got people who do literally, how fucking dumb, and this is no disrespect to anyone out there, but if you're a young exercise science student, right, and you're thinking, do I go and do my master's? Think about this for a second. What application have you done to apply that knowledge? How the fuck are you going to get paid? What skill set do you have? We had Brick on the show last episode. He talks about the importance of coaching, getting your hands dirty, doing free work experience, going there, putting yourself out there. What experience do you have? So we're talking about this kid wanting to do a master's. My question to him, first of all, is do you want to work private sector or pro sport? I don't give a fuck about pro sport. It's not my area. I don't want to ever go pro sport in Australia. Never ever will I do that, right? Never ever will I go pro sport. It's just no disrespect if you're pro sport. I couldn't give a fuck. Don't like politics. Don't care, right? I'm private sector. So let's cut that down the line straight off. I'm private sector. So I'm going to talk about my experience. There's other guys that you can talk to better about pro sport than me. Private sector's my side, right? Let's talk about the private sector, right? Number one, no one gives a flying fuck if you have a degree or not. No one. No one cares. Do you know what people care about, Alex, if they're going to shell over their hard money? Do you know what they care about? What do you think? Results. Okay, they care about results. Someone's coming to you to get results. So let's talk about, you're talking about, should I do a master's? If you want to work in the private sector, my suggestion is, hey, if you want to do a master's, I have no issue for upskilling. I love knowledge, right? But ask yourself, will that master's help you learn more knowledge to get results, yes or no? Will that help you gain a job or employment? Because I'll be honest with you, 98% of people in the commercial sector, they do not give a fuck. They just care about your Cert 3 and 4. And most of the people you're going to be up against is Cert 3 and 4. So why the fuck would you do your Masters? because you can learn on the job. So here's my thing for you. What was his name? Jesse, you got an undergrad degree. Go get experience. Go get experience for 3 years. Do it for 3 years. That's all I'm asking, 3 years. Don't just do what everyone else does, and don't just do the status quo of getting a master's because they're saying getting a master's. Ask yourself, are you going to take that information and apply it? Are you going to use it? Because that's the only way you're going to get paid, unless you want to become an academic. But I'm guessing you don't want to become an academic if you follow me. So you want to apply it. So ask yourself, am I going to use that qualification to actually coach and develop athletes? That's my question, or general population. Stop doing the same thing everyone else does. Put a massive bill, a thing on your hex, getting the government paid, and you get fuck all out of it, and then you guys whinge about it. Stop doing that. That's my answer to that.
Holistic Athletes AU. Hey man, love your post, and as studying PT, having done a lot of volunteer work, would love any advice you have for someone wanting to start their own PT business but hate fitness first.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Do what I did. I don't understand why people don't take my story and do what I did. I went to a real small chain gym. I told you, a small chain gym. They still paid floor hours, so I think I got floor hours or fucking PT. They paid me like 45% of your PT, which is fantastic. So I got that's how I built up. You don't want to, the thing that has fucked this industry, and I've told you this before, and I've told Bill as well, is this whole rental model thing and how you're a subcontractor, so you're working for the company, but you're not working for the company. They take responsibility for you. They don't take, it's just a fuck model, man. And the reason why is because this industry is owned by the big chain gyms, because they've got the most money, they've got the most marketing value, and they can do what the fuck they want. So they're really, in my opinion, Bill told us that the big gyms, like the 24-hour gyms, hire 2 staff members. 2. And they might be 2 trainers and that's it. That's why this industry is struggling at the moment, because there's just all these big commercial gyms, and then the issue is they want to start at PT, and then they go, these kids, I'll give you an example, these kids go to a Fitness First or a Genesis. And I was at a Genesis as well, right? And it's funny about Genesis, when Genesis took over my gym, they tried to get me to sign a contract to go rental base. I told the guy to suck his cock. I said, go suck my cock. I said, suck his cock or something. Because I knew I couldn't get fired, and also I didn't like him either. He was like the manager, like the regional manager. And imagine me back then at 22. Imagine Dill me 22. Yeah, probably not good. So he said to me, he tries to suck me now, and he goes, I think you'd be better on a rental agreement. I said, I don't think I'd be better on a rental agreement, because you just want the money because that's your job. I hate people who lie about it. Like, let's be transparent and open about this, right? All things on the table, right? What these gyms do is this, right? They have rent, right? They have rent like I've got rent, right? People, if you're watching, you got a mortgage, I got a mortgage, you got rent, right? Or a mortgage. You have to pay bills. You got to pay electricity, water, right? What they do is this, right? Big chain gym, they go, all right, we're gonna hire a PT, personal training manager, right? And their job, now, not all PTMs are bad. Lucas Barker, my mate, great guy. He's a PTM, and he have a budget, right? But there's good and bad, right? But their job is to get a certain quota of trainers so they can have get enough money in to cover certain overheads, right? But here's the issue, right? These guys come in, and the bad ones, what they do is they say to them, we're going to get you X amount. And these guys come in off the premise that they're going to get X amount of clients, right? Because they get sucked in, because these kids are 18, 19, 20, 21. You understand? What the fuck do you know about the world at 18, 19, 20, 21? This is the issue with the industry. You're getting 19-year-olds training people. It shouldn't happen like that. You have no experience. This is where I've talked to Bill about, I keep bringing up Bill because it's very important we talk about this at some stage, where there needs to be some sort of structure or some sort of regulating body. No, yeah, but the government. That doesn't exist anyway. So yeah, it doesn't exist, but there's got to be some sort of every other career has it. We don't have it. Like, what's it called? Prerequisite? No. What's it fucking called, Alex?
6.5 hours later.
Career development, professional development, in terms of there's a structure towards that goal, right? You do PT, it's like, oh, well, there you go. Good luck, see ya. We're done with you, Like these RTOs, they're not done, they don't give a fuck. So get you in, get you out. That's all changing, baby, that's all changing.
So what about his PT business? What would you recommend?
I've just gone around in fucking circles there, but this is when you talk about a subject, I can go on about, so you give me a subject, I can elaborate on that subject. So he wants to know what's the best way to do it. Here's my tips to you, champ. What's his name? I don't want to call him champ because no, fuck with.
No, it's an Instagram handle.
Okay, so my tips would probably, listen, go find a small chain gym. Go find one. It's possible to do it, right? Go there and then find a small chain gym and then go in there and say, like, I don't know if this guy's like got experience, no experience, and just say, listen.
Volunteer work. He's a studying PT.
Okay, excellent. So just keep going volunteer. Okay, here's the thing. Go to small chain gym now and then say you want to volunteer for 6 months, whatever it is, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, right? And then after that, that's where I'd start. I'd start at that level because the minute you go to these big chain gyms, you're putting pressure on yourself because a lot of these kids as well, they struggle. They can't sell. They can't communicate. They've got no relationship. They can't do it. They can't sell. Literally, they cannot sell. And the only way you get good at selling is by going out there and selling. And they can't do it. They just can't do it. It's a skill set within itself. You have to believe. How can you believe in your service when you're not even any good at your job? Makes no sense. So listen, go to small chain gym, build up slowly, work your way in there. Say you're going to do free work experience and just build rapport with the owners and get in there. That's the best advice. Don't go to the big chain gyms.
Last one, Jess Riordan. Now, she watched your video on Facebook about lifting weights for women. You talked about nutrition. So the most important factors for fat loss: resistance training, food, HIT. And so in relation to that, she asked, would weight training for lean muscle be lots of reps with small weights, like a body pump class, or do you focus on lifting heavy and doing less reps?
I'm just kidding. So what I'll do, the name's Jess Riordan.
Riordan.
Is that any relationship to Mitch Riordan? Can you maybe ask her? Any relationship to Mitch Riordan? Maybe. I don't know. So Jess, my suggestion is this: body pump I would classify as more a conditioning circuit. There's not much resistance on. Now, here's the thing though, Al. If they're lower trained, that's going to be a resistance training class to them, right? But here's the thing, which body pump's good, body pump's bad, right? Body pump's okay as an introduction to strength training, but a low level strength training. So if you're a novice or you're weak, you're going to get good strength adaptation. But here's the issue. At some stage you're going to plateau, you're going to have to lose heavier weights. So Jess, yes, body pump is a good start if you've never lifted weights before. If you have, that's where you're going to have to do some sort of structured, progressive, periodized strength program to actually get better improvements at strength, at lean muscle mass. So I'll be sticking it, once you plateau at that certain point, and everyone's different, everyone adapts differently, individualization. After they've adapted in terms of, they've got to a certain point in terms of their strength, they can take them in body pump, because you're going to plateau at some stage with that because they don't lift much weight. That's where you're going to have high training intervention. That's where you're going to have to work within a proper strength program. That's my simple answer to you. Maybe go one more then.
Or would you focus on doing lifting heavy and doing less reps, or doing small weights with high reps?
So there's two ways you can look at it. Do you grow off, this is what people don't understand, do you grow off doing heavier weight, lower reps? I'm asking you that. Do you, yes or no?
Do I grow lean muscle mass?
When you lift weight, Alex, in your infinite wisdom here, right? When you lift weights, and you're doing a heavy set, for argument's sake, right? I've seen you down there, right? And I yell at you sometimes when you're doing, trunk forward, you came forward, you really shifted forward. I'm like, you shifted fucking forward. You're like, oh, I felt that, thanks, man. Will you gain lean muscle mass off doing heavy triples? Off heavy triples, and do you gain off doing volume work off 10? Yeah, because we know volume when it's all equated is the number one factor when it comes to muscle hypertrophy, right? But still, if you're doing heavies, heavy triples, heavy quads, heavy, you're still going to grow as well. Either way. So I'm not going to say that, listen, you're going to grow off volume work, you're going to grow off intensification. I keep saying this to people, you can't ever go, just because you're doing heavy triples, you can't ever go, I don't want any muscular adaptation, I just want neurological. It doesn't happen like that, all right? Volume is the number one factor when it comes to muscular hypertrophy. Give me one more.
Yeah. Miss Sportlux09 on Instagram. She wants to ask if you could do a rant on hip flexors and how to warm up properly with them. I'm currently at uni studying and I'm trying to research as much as possible about it, why I have such tight hip flexors and my PT isn't quite sure about the best way to work with them.
Yeah. Okay, so think about it this way, right? What's her name?
Don't know.
Don't know. Okay, hello, don't know. So when you think about it, if you think about the sedentary lifestyle we all live, like right now I'm sitting in hip flexion, right? So I want you to think you've got 5 hip flexors. Psoas, iliacus, sartorius, rectum, TFL. Your psoas actually attaches to your lumbar spine, right? If you're actually tight, what normally does, that's why a lot of people get that, and what I've kind of noticed is they get back pain because they're real tight for the fucking hips. Very tight for the hips, and that psoas pull on that lower back, very tight, right? So a big thing which we focus on at Woodford is hip mobility combined with glute activation. And here's the kicker, right? The minute we mobilize the hips, lengthen the hip flexors, and strengthen the posterior chain, the glutes, we're going to bring that pelvis, and there's no perfect, fuck you Nardi, there's no perfect fictional patterns, there's no perfect, you know how they all talk about this perfect symmetry, you want symmetry? That's bullshit. No, we're all different. Everyone's gonna have different posture positions. Why do we always have to have one model? It doesn't work like that. It never works like that. So, no one's gonna have one model, but what we want to do is we want to make it as much as possible, but it's not going to be perfect in terms of if you're getting tight to your hip flexors, they're going to affect sprinting and jump performance. So that means I need to loosen up your hip flexors, activate your glutes, so we can bring you back to some sort of position that we want and maximize performance. Okay, so that's what I would do. Because if you are tight to the hips, it's going to affect a lot of things. What I've noticed is a lot of people in general, you think when I'm sitting down in hip flexion, my hips are getting tighter, my hip flexors are getting tighter, my glutes switch off. Okay, that's the worst thing. That's why I like those, stand-up desks. Because you're standing up, you're not in hip flexion, you're at neutral, and that's what we want. Okay, we've got that triple extension of hip, knees, and ankles. That's what we want. So that's my advice to you: is lengthen your hip flexors, strengthen your glutes, get you back to a normal position that you want, where you loosen up a little bit. That's it. Episode 29, Ask Woodford. Very short and sharp, concise. That's what we like. Guys, see you next week for episode 30 of Ask Woodford. I'm your host, Christian Woodford. I'll see you next week. Thank you, Alex. Goodbye.